My favorite 2023 car so far, the new Honda Civic Type R. People were worried that the new Civic was gonna be too boring, but I told y'all, I freaking told y'all, just wait until the Type R comes around. Honda did not do us dirty, so while the rest of the world has enjoyed some sweet Type Rs for some time now, us Americans, well, this is the first one that landed on our shores. Yeah. I mean, just look, it's a good performer, but just look at it. I mean, come on. It's not an ugly car, definitely still above average, but why settle for above average when you can settle for suave as hell? Most car companies struggle to make cars look modern and beautiful, but the newest Type R walked the fine line and finessed it. Look at it, bro, just look at it. Honda done sent the Civic to ricer rehab as it features a more muted spoiler, doesn't have flashy red accents, and don't get me wrong, accents on cars are fine, but the fact that it was only in the color red, I mean, come on, red doesn't go with everything. Just look at this McDonald's spec. I'd rather let the car just come with solid black ground effects and then let the customer choose on their own to add accents later. The edgy emo Type R that listened to Linkin Park and Bullet for My Valentine on replay finally grew up and shed its edgy, sharp design language, blacked out protruding hood scoop, plethora of fake fence, and overall just cleaned itself up a little bit while still looking sporty and cool. It's okay to still be a little edgy, just not too much edgy. S tier. Toyota Prius. Yes, I'm serious. Finally, and I mean finally, someone woke up and realized, wait, hybrids don't have to look like trash. Someone, one of you in fact, grew up, saw the holy trinity of hybrids 10 years ago, yeah, that was 10 years ago, went to college, studied design, graduated, got hired by Toyota, and finally just smacked them across their face and opened their eyes to the potential of hybrids. Hybrids never had to be lame cars, because they can still make sound. Just because something is better for the environment doesn't mean it has to be lame. Like, look at my Royal Enfield. It gets twice the MPG of the Prius, uses 15 times less steel to make, and not nearly as many cows need to die to make its tiny leather seat compared to an entire car interior, and it passes Euro 5 emissions, like certified environmentally friendly vehicle. But no one thinks of it that way when they buy it. They just think of how effing cool it is. Because, oh yeah, sure is cool. Second most sold vehicle in the world right now, baby. Y'all Americans living under a rock. SS tier, one of the best vehicles ever made. Wait, isn't this video supposed to be about cars? Who cares? While we're here, let's just drag this good old Porsche HD9 right up over here. Quadruple S tier, literally untouchable god. Coolest thing to ever walk the earth. The Gixxer, well, this goes into S tier for squid missile. The Zixxer 10R, that's not what it's called. ZX10R goes into the Z tier for, I don't know, zoo or something. And the Hayabusa goes into SS tier for its certified ability to send you from 0 to heaven in under 2 seconds flat. Yeah, y'all car guys racing to 0 to 60, meanwhile the BUSA racing up the stairway of heaven. Yeah, you better pray when you ride in this MF, and riding alongside that Ninja H2R is also an SSS tier. Sorry, my doctor really should reduce my Abilify dosage. I'm starting to think I'm developing an immunity to it, and using more of it is actually not at all doing anything to my schizophrenia. Regardless, the Prius is a solid A tier car. Kudos to the Mad Lad designer who finally made it look something other than hideous. With all the sporty hybrids that exist, and heck, even the supercar hybrids that have existed for some time now, it was about time the average Joe got a good looking hybrid as well, because at the end of the day, the public perception of something is most changed by the one they're most frequently exposed to. I still hear redneck F-boys who laugh at all kinds of hybrids, not realizing some of them can Thanos snap their stock Mustang into another dimension in a blink of an eye. Hybrids have been cool cars, and they have been known to us to be cool to car enthusiasts for a while now, but having the Prius look cooler will actually make it where the rest of the world and their average general audience will become more accepting of hybrids. Also, it'll hopefully motivate other manufacturers to make prettier hybrids, because this set the bar. It's actually cool looking. If the future is going to be us driving hybrids and electric cars anyways, for the love of God, make them look good. If we're going to end up in them, at least make us still like them, because if not, the Hayabusa's right there, bro. The BUSA, bro. The turbo BUSA. I ain't touching four wheels anymore if the future of cars is gonna be bleak, but thankfully, we got some of y'all growing up and changing that. We needed this Prius. We didn't even know we needed it, but we needed it. You know what? We're moving this Prius up. It's not an A tier, it's going to S tier, which stands for subscribe to this channel. If you're coming back anyway, why not? Just check out some of my other recent videos. You don't want to miss out on those. I promise they're fun, and I definitely stay on topic in those videos, totally, I promise. Corvette Z06 C8. So I've skipped mentioning this car in many other videos that I've made relating to this topic of looking forward, blah, 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 but mostly because in 2021 and 2022, we didn't have an official release date, so I didn't want to be too overhyped for it. But it's now now been confirmed the C8 Z06 is for the 2023 model year, and there's a decent amount of them on the roads now at this point, so I can finally gush over it like I've been holding back all this time. So get ready for me to enter super duper extreme supreme Corvette fanboy mode. You ready? It's a cool car, I guess. I mean, I could recite its specs, data, and statistics, but we've known those for a couple years now. Here they are up on screen. Don't expect me to read it. I've already got it etched into my brain. I really don't need to recite them again. I'm glad it's a flat plane. I know some people will miss the cross-plane chop, but look, the base model is literally still right there. The LT2 is still a pushrod cross-plane engine, and you can still buy those. The C8 Z06 being naturally aspirated, I think that's cool as hell. It feels more Z06-y than my current Z06, because the Z06 has been known to be more of an NA vehicle regardless, and if you want to boost it, that's your decision later. But who am I kidding? This entire entry really just exists to finally answer the question that I keep seeing to this day in every single one of my comment sections. But belated, are you going to get the new Z06? Are you going to trade in your current Z06? Did you see the tier list I just made in this video? Are you forgetting what's on the top? You bout to catch me on an old Porsche Night Rod long before I touch any Corvette ever again. I still have my Mustang. The Vet has been a great experience, but owning one literally turned me into a jaded midlife crisis fanboy who was salty they never got a Lambo and then turned their Corvette into a Lambo instead, only to go full circle and have me realize that none of it really matters anyway, since the best vehicle that I've ever owned in my entire lifespan was the first vehicle I ever owned. No, not the Nissan Sentra, the Porsche HD Night Rod. Ain't nothing touching that bike in terms of coolness, nothing on four wheels at least. I rate the C8 Z06 as an A+ tier car. GR Corolla. We talked about this last year, but let's talk about it again. Now that it's 2023, we've seen some of these on the streets, and honestly, it's a great change of pace seeing sporty hatchbacks have a place on the US streets, and hopefully someday more of a place in the US car market, because I do miss seeing some hatchbacks, and I do feel sorry for some of the cooler hatchbacks that got axed recently. So, you know, it left an opening in the market, and Toyota's attacking that opening, and hopefully it makes people, and especially other corporations, remember how much people still want these kinds of vehicles. The existence of a flagship hot hatch in the form of the GR Corolla has also made people respect the base model more. The regular Corolla, even in base form, is a surprisingly attractive car. Toyota has really nailed their styling as of recent. I give the Corolla a strong B+ tier, with the GR Corolla a solid HH tier for hot hatch. Yeah, that's totally what that means. This tier list doesn't make any sense, by the way. If I did rank these cars seriously, even if I gave this car an SS rank, I bet you some salty loser would actually comment, "You're just a hater. Why isn't it SSS? Only SS." So yeah, HH, that's what you're getting instead. Interpret that as you will. BUSA's still better.
Honorable mention 2023 Nissan Z. I talked about this car so much in previous videos that I don't even want to bother recording my own voice for this entry.
Lotus Emira, rounding off my favorite releases, is a car I want to seriously praise and gush over. While it doesn't stray too far from what we already expect from Lotus, being a V6, having sexy curves, and a name that starts with E, I mean, come on, anyone whose name starts with E is sexy as Toyota Emira, I mean Lotus Chimera, I mean Lotus Emira, hold up, wait. This car only starts at 74K? Bro, I might actually be able to get inside of one of these after all. Oh wait, that's actually for the 4-cylinder variant, but yo, the V6 trim is 93 grand? Dang, that's actually cheaper than their previous Evora 400 or GT. In this day and age though, I mean Lotus, you serious? When inflation is making every car cost like double the last, y'all actually making this one cheaper than your previous model? Everything in it is a step forward too, so that's totally unexpected when you consider the price has gone down and the quality has somehow gone up. I mean, it's no secret that at this point they use Toyota V6 engines. It's a 2GR FE, supercharged of course. They also use a 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged AMG engine for the base model. And it makes use of an Aisin Toyota Group 6-speed transmission or an 8-speed AMG DCT, and these days, you know, everything is outsourced anyway, so if you're gonna outsource regardless, you may as well get it from a reliable manufacturer like Toyota or a performance brand like AMG. Like, you know, why reinvent the wheel? Why spend billions on R&D just to make an inferior performing DCT when you can just buy someone else's DCT that works? And no sarcasm, by the way, that's actually a smart move. Like, I can take the bumpers off my Mustang and count more stickers saying made in Mexico than made in USA. That's no joke. But really, as I grew up, I have changed. I've been on YouTube for 6 years now. I can't even stomach some of my stupid moments from my earlier videos. The one thing I will love though is that back then I was okay with kit cars borrowing Chevy engines. So that carries us back to the topic here. If Lotus wants to use a Toyota engine because it works for them, and it has worked for them several decades now, and they now want to use Toyota transmissions, more power to them. So be it. If that means I can get a cheaper product that's better in quality, I literally do not see a loss to this, you know? And most non-car people aren't even gonna know about this anyways, and this is just an insanely sexy masterpiece that's just gonna pass them by. That's good enough for me, you know? Nice, reliable, and pretty. You don't get that with many other supercars. So good on y'all, Lotus. This car stole my heart, carries my soul, and heals my mind. It's beautiful, striking, and in a day and age where supercars feel more saturated than ever, it's nice to see Lotus not overpricing their model up to the moon and actually making a attainable dream car. I respect the MC20, really I do, and I love the new Acura NSX Type S. They're both fantastic cars, they're both great supercars, even in spite of them having V6s, and I mean on the 4GT, I can't forgot to mention that one, the 4GT also uses a V6 now, so I don't think my issue is, you know, the cylinder count. But the impressive part is, if you put the Lotus Emira in the room with them, I think it looks just as beautiful as all of them. You know, that's the impressive part to me. This feels like a 200, 300, even 400 grand exotic, but it costs a fraction of the price. It looks like $1 million, but costs under 100 grand. That's just so insane. Like, that's actually cool. It's genuinely an aspirational worthy car. Like, that actually, again, that's actually less than the C8 Z06's sticker price. And don't get me wrong, the Z06 is the faster car. That's the one that's gonna outperform this and punch way above its weight class. But the thing is, everyone's seen Corvettes at this point. People get used to their look. They don't have that quote-unquote exotic rarity. And as someone who's owned a Corvette, I still love what they represent and what they stand for. But like I said, I'm feeling something different. We're gonna call this Lotus an L tier because Lotus don't take no L's, except this L that I'm giving it right now. Oh, okay, this actually makes no sense. So how about W tier for win? Absolute win, baby. All three of Toyota's cars in this video are an absolute hit. Subscribe if you love automotive content. Smash that like button harder than, I don't know, whatever you smack, just smack it. And share this to your pet goldfish. Thanks for watching and see y'all next time. Blade Angel out.